Welcome to Dragon Mounts, the Wheel of Time rewatch. This is our last episode, episode 8 of season 1.
I'm
So we
Thad.
may have some feelings about that, but anyway, I'm Rebecca. I have Tom and Ebony with me. How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
I'm all right.
I'm fine and dandy.
Good. Excellent. So we have some exciting stuff to talk about before we kick off our episode 8 rewatch, but we should bring in our special guest tonight. We have 2/3 of Blockcast.
Well, let me bring in Ebony's favorite first.
Okay. Yep. Important.
Yes.
Oh, it should have been John. Hi.
Welcome.
Any chance I get to just poke Jonah, you know?
Please poke me all night long.
I was going to say.
Oh, I already got to bust it out.
All right.
I already got to bust it out.
It feels just
I
like
don't know if
home.
that warranted that.
Yeah,
No, just to give a warning to everybody.
There's much worse to come.
Oh, I know,
it's
I know.
true. Yeah.
He wasn't here for the Fishy Funhouse episode, but
It's okay. We're gonna talk
I'm
about it.
curious. My mom told me what a fishy fun house was when I was younger. What's your version?
that's for the
Well-
After Dark episode for later.
There,
Yeah.
there. you go.
Yes. Yes.
Tonight we're going to talk about the Fantasy Fuck House, though.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is an all ages show.
It is now. Yeah. I mean, you guys were invited, so we figured, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
We'll go all
Yeah.
out tonight.
Yeah.
our name
Speaking
does scream PG, you know?
Yeah.
It does.
Completely. Yeah.
Speaking of the Fishy Funhouse, or FFH, do you want to
Yes.
talk about why we're talking about nonsense?
Okay, yeah. In case anyone is confused about FFH, we got some answers from Rafe today. I'm calling him Rafe. Oh, I know why. It's because
I like it.
Alyssa did
song.
a song parody where she called him Rafe. It's great. I love it.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Um,
It is amazing.
It's so good.
I still prefer
anyway.
R2J2.
R2J2 is very cute. All right, so this was our answer to question for episode 6. So we wanted to know about the Love Shack Terangrial and the location where Moraine and Swan meet up. So his answer: the Love Shack Terangrial is one of our favorite bits. It's one of those adaptation pieces that you don't technically need, but really helped put a visual/emotional stamp on the secret relationship between Moraine and Swan. And the writers lovingly refer to it as the FFH. And no, he did not explain what that stands for. So, left to all of your dirty, dirty imagination.
Hmm.
I mean, there's no way it doesn't involve the F-bomb, right? Like, that's
Yeah, it's gotta
gotta
have
be
fuck
in
in
there. Yeah, it's gotta have
100%.
No,
And then it's just the question of the
No,
other
wait,
one's probably what?
no.
Fish? I don't know. Yeah, who knows?
female hideout.
I mean, that's possible. Yeah.
You know what?
It's the
I am-
female-only club?
Yeah.
I am pleasantly surprised at Jono.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, I mean,
Very-
that's
yeah.
pretty wholesome. Fantasy,
Fantasy fulfillment hut.
Yeah.
Anything can happen there. Anything can happen.
But
That's
yeah, it's
great.
definitely something sexual.
Yeah. I mean,
It's got to be house or hut. I mean,
Yeah.
it's got to be.
I feel like hut. Yeah.
Hut. It's
Yeah.
got. Yeah. Based on the interior that you see, that's a hut.
That's fair.
I don't know if we have this tweet to bring up, but I think it was Miss Sarah James on Twitter who was talking about how someone needs to do a Watt Idol version of Love Shack, only we're calling it Fuck Hut.
Yeah.
And I think that needs to happen. So someone should be writing that
Someone-
right now.
Yeah, absolutely. He
I
also
mean, we
posted...
know Taffy Bennett, the intergalactic, lounge singer, so we can
Alright.
make something happen.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think there was a second part to that answer, Tom. I don't know if you have that. He did 2 tweets on that one. So if there's a second part, if you want to bring it up.
Was it the if I had my druthers, we would have been...
No, that's the next question. But he had 2 tweets in response to the Love Terangrial question.
Oh, good to know.
So Rapunzel says Forbidden Frolic House. So I like.
I like that.
too.
That is
Yeah.
cute. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cute.
Oh, I see.
You
Yeah,
got
bring
it?
Is
it
it
up
really
for a second.
forbidden?
Yeah, that's what
Yes.
I have a problem with the word forbidden.
Well,
I like it other words. I like frolic
So-
house.
it's,
Yeah.
Frolic
it's
is nice.
forbidden in the sense that they don't want people to know that they are.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's a secret relationship.
I mean,
Yeah.
we could also go with Freaky Frolic House if you want to go that way. don't know.
There you
Okay,
go.
so yeah, this is the second part to his answer to that question. We only have one episode for the audience to really understand and root for this relationship. So the FFH helped us do that and call back to Swan's home. So that's the only kind of part where he sort of answers, like, basically where is it or what is it? Because he didn't
Yeah.
really go into
Mhm.
that. But so
Do
we
you
still
think?
don't know.
I mean, it's not her actual home, right?
No,
No,
I don't
but
think so.
No, but
it
it
could
is kind of
literally be in the same part of the the world. Like, it could literally
Yeah.
be in Tyr, just a hut that she
I mean, it's been
Yeah.
X amount of years. She could have bought the land and like rebuilt
See,
it or something.
that's
But I
what I'm
thought it was
saying.
like in
There's
the world of
already-
dreams or something.
See,
Right.
here's
Well,
the
he
thing.
doesn't
Here's the
answer.
thing.
Yeah, he doesn't answer that.
We know that Suan goes into a terangrial and Moiraine goes
Moiraine
into a
does too.
terangrial. Right. So
Yeah.
like
We assume Swan does.
well no,
No,
but
we
so
do.
what
You
we
see
saw
it.
it. You do
You
see
see
it.
it.
She has
you do?
one.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
do
She
see
has
it.
Oh
the
yeah,
same
oh yeah,
exact-
that's
yeah.
right. That's right.
So I think that they go into like a. So do you remember? I don't know if you remember. If you're, it's only mentioned like once or twice. In the Age of Legends, they
vacuoles.
vacuoles. Exactly. That's exactly what I was about to say. So I think that that's what they're going into.
John,
What's that
you're
really
so
called a
serious.
vacuole? Like
I mean-
calling it a vacuole is kind of, I think, sexist again.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely options, like the World of Dreams.
I mean,
or
they're
whatever.
experimenting. That's what they used to do in the vacuum.
That is what the vacuole is for. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think they were experimenting. I think at this point they were professionals at what they were doing.
Yeah, they seem to be talented.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is
they seem to know what they were doing.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's
And
fair.
it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
You don't say on your knees unless you've done it a few times.
Right,
That was
You know-
wonderful.
You know what's going on.
Also, one of the things that I think is really underappreciated is the fact that, like, Aes Sedai, they have healing, right? So, like, if you've got arthritic knees and you're about to get to work, someone can, really help you out before that happens. Send a
Hold on.
chill down your
Hold
back
on.
anyway.
Let
Yeah.
me refresh those knees right quick.
Yeah. Now on your knees.
I mean, that would really come in handy. So,
Yeah.
that's great.
I've had 3 knee surgeries, so I'm really just
You're just thinking selfishly.
Yeah.
I'd really
I
enjoy
down on my wife. It's
some
actually-
Aes Sedai healing.
You sit on my face. I'm not going to. I can't do
Yeah,
that.
I can't be bothered tonight.
Yeah.
Just let me lay
Yeah.
down on my
Yeah,
back.
just in case anyone forgot.
I mean, that could say it says accurate things.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
It is. Yeah.
Terribly accurate things.
Yeah, terribly.
fa-
I'll have to update that image.
Terribly accurate and fantastic thing.
Yeah.
In that case, at least. So, before we get too far off topic and we end up starting this hour show,
Yeah.
I want to talk about real quick. This past weekend we did myself, Twatcast, Ebony, you joined me, and 25 or 26 other content creators. We did the Wata Holiday special. It was absolutely fantastic. Rob from Malkier Talks hosted it, and as always, did a
Amazing.
fantastic job. And
Yeah.
Andrew helped out. I got to shout out Andrew to Black Tower
Yeah.
Podcast as well. There's a lot of hands behind
Andrew's
the
okay.
scenes.
He's okay.
I mean, he was a little hoarse this weekend.
He was
Probably,
hilariously hoarse. Yeah.
Yeah, probably had one of those face sitting incidents or something. But we managed to raise, what was it like? Hold on, I got a banner.
It's approximately 12. Yeah, there you go.
There you
Yeah.
go.
$12,093.84 for the Light Weaver Foundation. Which is
15 cents too many.
What was it? 235 donations. Yeah, it was fantastic.
It's amazing.
That
There's
much money
something
from that many donations is
today.
pretty incredible.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
one hell of a fucking community though. Like the actual Wheel of Time, like the people who take part in it. They're really good people. Ourselves, obviously.
Oh,
Joe,
yeah.
Not us. No,
Very
definitely
good.
not us.
Yeah.
You have a good heart. It's the mouth that gets you.
Yeah.
in trouble.
it's not just about.
It's the lack of filter between brain and mouth.
But yeah,
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, it's. I agree. The group of people we have watching all our dumb content on the internet is amazing, and they're all so
Our-
nice
our
and so
self-
generous, and
Yeah.
we all love each other, and everyone's like helping each other out all the time. And when we all kind of get together to do something, it gets done like immediately. So it's pretty amazing.
I mean, what
Expressive
happened?
stuff.
They did. Amazon did that thing just to prove the Wheel of Time community comes through like hard. Amazon did that poll, like, what are you most excited for? The Rings of Power, like 2 years ago, and Wheel of Time blew it.
And we all just like
yeah.
spammed it.
Yeah.
Wheel of Time.
It's a very motivated community in a great way.
Yeah.
We've been known to do that on a few internet polls here and there.
I remember when George R. R. Martin was writing like the weird stuff of like character versus character, and like a whole bunch of, and then like out of nowhere, Wheel of Time just went like.
We used to do the battle royale thing. Was that you guys?
Yeah. That,
Oh yes,
that's
Voodoo cage match or something like
Yeah,
that.
those were always like spammed by Twitter time and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's because
It's Moraine every time. No matter how powerful the person is she's fighting.
This morning, just
Yes.
fired.
Well, the thing is that once one of us knows, we run it.
Yeah, it's like everyone. It just explodes.
Yeah, it's like so Brian's in the military. Like they have the telephone tree of who you're supposed to call. Like we have that in the Wheel of Time. Like once one person knows, like you contact these 3 people. So that's
you like to
happens.
watch Signals of Gun. It's the wrong series.
There she is.
Yes.
Ebony, I thought we were losing you, Ebony. I got scared.
Oh.
I'd be lost without you.
Yeah, I wasn't
Am I
sure if
back?
that was just me.
Yeah,
you're good.
Oh, okay.
You're fine, I think.
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
Your
So-
cat's moving again, so
Yeah.
Another thing I want to share amongst everybody, which is exciting for a lot of reasons, and I'll share some of them soon. I have so many pictures to go through right now because I thought they were all lost for like the last 6 months. I thought I lost like a file on my that had like so much stuff in it on an external hard drive that I had, but I was able to recover it like a couple days ago, and on it were pictures from the first Jordan Con. So I'm going to share one from the first Jordan Con right now that I pulled out. I got to go through like literally thousands of pictures. Cause I also have like my parents sent me like their camera to pull pictures off years ago. And there's like 2,000 pictures of my niece from like one day. So, but here's baby Jason from 2009, I think. Yeah. So
I recognize
Jason.
that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is
there's
that
Harriet
hair?
Wilson and Brandon.
Yep.
Wait.
yep.
Is that hair on Jason's head?
I know.
Yeah.
It's
Crazy. And
It's not his hair.
it's someone else's hair. Absolutely. And to his right there is Shannon Lieb. She was the Amaryllin
Oh.
at
Yeah.
I know for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
She is in charge of communications now over at Jordan Con.
Yeah.
And right there in the front is an iPod Shuffle. If,
Oh my God.
don't know what that is.
No, yeah.
Wow.
Do you
An
know-
iPad shuffle.
Do you know what Avienda would say if she saw that? She'd be like, What is
What's
this?
an iPod?
What's an
You mean an
iPod?
iPhone, mommy? An iPhone?
Yes. Yeah. Except it doesn't make calls or be able to put pictures on the screen.
Jonna, do you still have
Yeah.
that brick iPod in your car?
I do. Yeah. Oh, it's funny. Is that,
Song.
It's like
well,
2 inches thick.
yeah, thank you for
I had
noticing.
one of those ones.
Yeah. It's
It's
still there.
amazing.
Yeah.
What else I
It's
found? The other thing I found was from another Jordan Con past. So in that first picture, also on the back there is Wilson Grooms, who
Mhm.
sadly also recently passed from throat cancer. Is Robert Jordan's brother?
Cousin.
Cousin.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, he used to call him his brother, but that's because
They were
he was
they
his
were
actual
close like
son.
brothers.
Yes.
Fourth of three is what he was called.
So he participated in a lot of late night shenanigans with us at Jordan Con. And there was much alcohol involved, I'll say that. But this was from, I want to say, Jordan Con 2015 or 16. We reenacted The Last Supper.
Oh.
Yes.
We broke into the con suite and sent this to the person who is in charge of the con suite. We have Chuck Gannon. So I'm in the middle there as Jesus, obviously. Then Shannon Lieb and Wilson Grooms there, and Chuck Gannon. There's Wilson's daughters on the far left in the blue shirt. There's a whole ton of people on this picture.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's Val the Wild.
yep. I think it was Judas, right? Yeah, that's
And
Judas.
Aubrey, yeah.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah, that
there's
makes
Aubrey.
sense.
She's
Yeah.
she's shiny. I think Paul Beatrix lurking in the background there too.
He always is.
Karen Sheridan, Amanda McTaggart, who I think that was the year she played Grundle, and me and Chris, who's all the way on the right, carried her into opening ceremony.
Yes, I believe that is correct.
Yeah, that
How
was
do
a
you
ton of
keep
fun.
all those years straight, man?
You know how? Because I have to type. I had to type Jordan Con so often, like in 2017, and Chuck Gannon, like is the guest of honor. So like I was guest services, so I was like always talking and typing to Chuck Gannon and Jordan Con 2017. That's the only reason I know that. Cause I don't know what day it is half the fucking time. I don't have a single memory from my childhood, but I remember that nonsense.
You've been to all of them, right?
Yeah.
And as have Joe and I. Rebecca, have any of you guys?
No,
I've never been.
I didn't know you people were out here. I was looking and nobody told me. I randomly found. I randomly
you were there relatively like early on though, like.
It just feels that. No. It just feels that way. So Avi was born in 2012. I didn't go until after Avi was born.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So but it's again going to all of them. It's they're a giant blur. Not even just because of the whole Joe drinks
alcohol.
a lot.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely the alcohol.
Joe drinks a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. We switched hotels a couple times, but come back.
Yeah.
That'll use the shit out of you.
That actually kind of makes it easier because you're like, well, it was at this hotel, so it had to be like within this span of time.
But this recent hotel makes it tough because like we had Jordan.
We were there and then we went back.
It's an awesome hotel. But real quick note, everyone should go to Jordan Con. It's amazing.
Yeah, Jordan Con's super fun.
You should,
April,
Rebecca. It's April 22nd.
I know. April is like a
23.
kind of terrible time for me, which is probably I'm a baby in this fandom, even though I'm old. But
so here's the thing: I will welcome you with open arms. That is my job. I am there. That is my job. So
I was actually
out with me.
I had.
May she live forever.
I bought a membership to go last year. I was supposed to go, but it's bad time. So we'll see. One of these days I will get there, but I have not been yet. So.
Well,
but anyway, we should. What? Sorry.
No, I was just going to say 2024 would be the year of Avienda because that's the year I'm bringing her. It was supposed to be 2023, but she has a dance competition. And she was like, Can Miss Jen move Jordan Con? And I'm like, I don't think so.
Not even for Avienda.
That is adorable. Can she move the dates of the entire...
Yeah, for one person? Go ahead. We'll do that. That's not a problem.
Because she has a dance competition.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, there's a reason. Hey, there's a reason.
So,
But the year of Avienda sounds lovely, so I'll definitely keep that in mind.
I believe it's a calendar. But yeah, so that's the year of Avienda. It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah.
I mean, fun for you guys. I'm going to have
Not
to manage
for
that
you.
foolishness. No, I'm going to have to manage all of y'all, making her feel like she is just the best thing since sliced bread.
That's right. We'll put her.
I mean, isn't she?
Well, it doesn't matter if she is or not. She thinks it, and that's all that matters.
And so does her mother.
Well, yeah. So here's the thing: I have other children. She is constantly like, "So I'm your favorite, right?" And I have to constantly
have multiple slices of bread.
Well, I'm like, that's what I tell her. I don't have a favorite kid. I have favorite things about each kid. Yes, Crystal.
Yes, you do, Crystal.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. No, I was just gonna say, but we're
stop with your Jordan Con anecdotes, Tom.
I think we got.
I'm just gonna remind people how it works.
And also we didn't talk about one of Rafe's answers. Just sorry not to totally do it.
Talk about it.
Me and Jono are known for our tangents, Rebecca.
All right. No, that's not even your fault.
It's us. Not your fault. It's us.
Which answer? I don't know which one you're talking
about.
The
one. If I had my druthers, that one.
This one.
Yeah. So this was in response to a question for episode 7 about there's a cut scene. We know there's a cut scene because we saw like a still image of Padan Fain holding a Venusaur leaf for the Waygate. And so we asked about that, and Rafe said, if I'd had my druthers, this would have been in the show to help set up how Waygates work for non-book fans. But it didn't make it, sadly, the quest for breakneck pace and all. Still canon that a Venusaur leaves can open and shut Waygates, and we will one day see it on screen.
Just for those wondering, Jono, druthers means a person's preference in a matter.
Dr. Others.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Dr.
That was
Others,
a
yeah.
well-known.
If I
yeah,
had
medical-
my Dr. Others, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Which is very confusing. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I'm very confused
Yeah.
by his speech. Well, I guess we should probably correct him that it's not Avendosora leaves. It's Avendosora leaves from Awaygate. No, I'm kidding. Just anyone who just got like,
Just a
pull
leaf.
a leaf off the tree and
It
Yeah,
turns brown,
that's
it's
all.
crumbling. You're like,
Just
shit,
here.
I'm not going to be able to get out.
And maybe if you went to Ruidian and pulled a leaf off
yeah,
that
and
tree,
Fall,
maybe
Radiant
it
and Fall is a beautiful painting, by the way, done by, I can't think of any famous painter in the Wheel of Time.
no.
no.
I wish they had
no.
shown that actually, because when he exits the gate, I'm always kind of like, well, how did he do that? Did he have like a dreadlord with him? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, it makes it into a mystery, which I'm not sure that wasn't the intention necessarily.
No,
Sounds
yeah,
like
I'm sure not.
it
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah,
a creative decision to make it a mystery. They just was like, oh, we need to cut for time. It sounded
Yeah,
like
He should have
so.
just been holding it in his hand. You know how he walks out and he's just like,
Like-
strolling
like
out of the
Ebony-
gate? He could have just been holding it in
Ebony
his
was
hand.
sure he had it. She she
Ebony was sure that
it
she
was in that
remember him
scene.
going like, you know, like just
But
like
I-
Having
tossing
something in
it,
his
apparently
hand?
like
that
going
he
like that.
tossed it like a coin, but apparently I made that up.
It was in the
Yeah.
list.
It's all, it's all in your brain.
This was a thing that
The,
Conan Thane would do, but he didn't.
For-
Yeah.
So.
And for non-book readers, it really makes them think that he can channel.
Yeah.
It might make you think that. Absolutely. So it's
If
very
you believe
weird
that
of it.
opening and closing it has anything to do with channel.
Oh yes, I just a small shout out for WattCon.
Well, based on the
also.
show,
Everyone's talking
Moraine
about
being
it
the
in
only
chat.
one that opens it is sort of, the impression you get.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
what?
I was just gonna say everyone's talking about WattCon also in chat. Is another great
Oh,
fuck
Wheel
yeah.
of Time convention.
So I know about that. I can tell you
yeah.
about that one.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to that this year too.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
in Ohio.
I don't know, John, are we going to
July.
get up to
Yes.
WatCon this year?
It's in
No,
Ohio.
we'll go next year because it's December.
All right, you want to go to WatCon
This-
next year?
This
Good call.
coming
You have missed
WattCon.
it for this year, but
Yeah,
next
so-
year,
So
July.
I'm
did
gonna
miss it
go.
this year.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. So that means everybody here has to go. But
I mean, I made that
Yay.
logo. I need a WatCon shirt with my work on
but
it.
my kids
Well,
live
come
in
and you get
Columbus. Yeah, but my kids live in Columbus, so like two birds,
Oh.
one stone.
Oh,
There you
My
perfect.
There you
older
go.
ones do. Yeah,
Oh, I'm so
Nail it.
excited.
yeah, but I'm coming. I don't know if I'm bringing anybody with me, but I'll be there.
Columbus,
Okay.
Georgia, right?
Yeah, Columbus, Georgia, Jana.
Yeah.
Yeah,
An hour and a half
yes,
for-
What are we
Yes.
It's really convenient.
No.
Yes.
Columbus, Yucatan Peninsula.
Oh, okay. I love the Yucatan. It's a beautiful place. Go dive a cenote.
All right, so let's get to this episode now. So we're going to be
Let's
watching
get
episode
to
8,
it, guys.
The Eye of the World. For those of you who haven't been here for any of the other episodes, I have this little timer on the bottom of the screen. You can sync up your episodes with that. We will be watching the recap, so don't skip the recap. For those of you that are unlucky enough to get a commercial in the beginning of the episode, I'm sorry, you'll have to catch up.
Yeah, next time pay for premium.
Exactly.
Impoverished.
And we, as always,
Yes.
we'll be collecting questions for Rafe. Make
Yeah.
sure you are asking obviously questions that aren't going to get raffoed. Like he's gonna be
Yeah.
like, I can't answer that. So ask episode
I
specific
know.
questions.
We want to
stuff like
ask
that.
when season 2 is coming, but we're not going to be able to pick that one. So,
Obviously.
but we've already gotten one question from Geeky Area on Twitter. So she wants
Yay.
to know what
Mm.
Moraine's tell is. So that's
Okay,
just
okay.
one to consider. But yes, ask as we
We-
go.
We made a lot of jokes about that
Yeah.
I have
in our show.
very-
And Spare a Time made like a hilarious
yeah. I have a
artwork
lot
for
of-
it. It's just carved into a tree. Like I went this way. I don't remember what it was, but it was like
We have a
Moraine's
whole-
tail. And it was just like an arrow
Yeah.
and like anyway, it was
We
fun.
had a whole discussion about this at WatCon actually this past year, and
It was-
there was discussion of asparagus pea and all kinds of stuff. But my theory is that she's just a big shedder. Like her hair is just
Her
constantly
hair is just like
shedding. And because she could do that even unconscious, So
Just
that's my
use a
theory. And I'm
comb.
sticking to it.
See, I just 100% thought that she just killed a whole bunch of sheep and put them in an arrow like she did with the dragon fang. And episode
I
one.
just assumed she followed the thousands of Trollocs that were following them.
Yeah, you know.
No one ever
Eating.
thinks about that.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, there's a giant trail, like leading right to them.
Good point.
How did you find us? It wasn't hard.
Well, it wasn't hard. There's
Couple
like
thousand hoof
12
prints in the
fades.
ground.
Yeah. And all the every tree that's in this one path.
Yeah,
is
just
broken down from the
weirdly
army of
just
Charlotte.
smashed to the side.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna get
All
ready.
right,
to play
everybody
this
get
now.
ready to start soon.
Yes. Here we go. I'm gonna do a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. One of
I always
y'all.
think the Amazon thing looked like a penis.
Your life isn't going to be what you thought. Adara always has and always will be able to.
It's Jonah. Jonah, you can't play your sound through your speakers. You got to put
Yep,
headphones
I
in.
realized that already.
You
and I was
mortal.
like,
I'm like, why am I hearing this twice?
what type of dumbass does that?
We should have tested
Anyway,
this.
let's talk about the point here. I always thought the Amazon logo looked like a penis. Like if you think about it.
Focus,
kind of
Jonah.
cool,
Focus. And
I mean, anything can look like a penis
Well,
if you really wanted
We'll,
to. I
we'll
guess,
talk
so.
about why you think all penises are curved in a little bit. But
You would be surprised.
Look how crazy her hair is. She is
Right.
shedding. You're right,
Right.
Rebecca.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's a totally plausible theory. Someone fight me on it.
No, I like it.
What did you guys
Still
think of
not happy.
Perrin's growl? Was it wolfish to you? It sounded like bearish to me.
Well, you know, he almost was a bear brother. That they considered that. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. How dumb would that have been?
he's
Oh,
still
God.
figuring it out. He's still figuring it out, Joe. He'll get it right.
Here we go.
Oh,
okay,
Jono, what's your
yes.
favorite character? A lot of pussy to come.
A lot of places to go. You know that's her name, right?
I know.
I like the sound of the old tongue. Like it sounds.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a great opener scene. 7 and 8 have crushing open credit scenes.
Oh, well, by the way, R.I.P. to that kid, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That kid dies.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
yes.
A spoiler for later books. I like how much, and maybe I don't
Wait,
really
let
like,
Tom put up his spoiler warning.
Spoiler alert.
but
Spoiler.
his jacket here is very reminiscent of something that people wear later.
Yes.
Ah, yeah. I liked that actually.
That's true. Yeah,
Yes.
that is true.
Yeah.
I just the thing that I found weird in this was that she refers to him as the Dragon Reborn also.
Yeah, that's bad.
I can't stand that.
Yeah,
It drives me
yeah.
crazy.
I think it was honestly though. I think it might have just been I think it might be a mistake.
Well, so
Yeah,
they do that
Well,
with
it's a
him, and then
translation.
they constantly, well, like when they're arguing later, like they keep saying dragon for short instead of Dragon Reborn. So like the Two Rivers kids say like dragon like 10 times,
Yeah.
and then when they're actually talking to the dragon, they say Dragon Reborn, and I'm like, what? It's such an easy detail to get right.
Well,
What if
so-
you're looking at it from the wrong age? Maybe Ram's the original dragon. And
So could this be that they did call Luce Thayer the Dragon Reborn in this just
Yeah.
to make sure people understood that it is a soul that keeps returning?
Yeah, I think
Maybe.
it's very possible that they did that to emphasize that aspect of the lore, and that just in this instance they were aware of that
Right.
as they.
Mm.
I mean, you would think in the Age of Legends they would be. Like,
Also,
there's
whatever
supposed
that
to be so much
ring
more
is on
fan.
his fingers, the dark
mean-
one has that on later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
So-
I know that's pretty cool.
So I would say this is probably a spoiler, but
Mhm.
shouldn't that
Spoiler alert.
shouldn't that be the ring he uses to summon the 9 rods of Dominion?
the Ring of Tamerlan? Technically,
Yes.
He calls
Well-
her Tamerlan.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's a weird thing, which
Yeah.
I also am not a huge fan of. I've always thought this is really cool, like the breaking of the
The opening
string.
sequence.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
If you notice though, it doesn't break.
Yeah,
It didn't break.
No. They cut right before it does.
They cut right before
Looks
it
like
breaks.
a
Or it
interior
doesn't.
ligament in my body.
Or yeah, right. Yeah.
Back to your knee again.
Yeah, yeah. It did break.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
It's wrong.
Spoiler alert for my
I
surgeon.
need to lower this volume a little bit so I can hear you guys better. That's better.
Yeah.
So turn the volume off, put the captions on.
Yeah, the captions do reveal a lot sometimes.
And as we always
I'm
remind
telling you
people
guys.
to watch with the captions on, you gotcha.
Because if nothing else, you'll know when Fane is whistling if you don't necessarily hear it.
If nothing else, you got to know when Fane is whistling.
Like eerie whistling.
Yep.
Yeah.
The other thing, like some of the stuff off the top of my head that we learned from the captions were like Days Conger is Days Conger, the woman that everyone thought was Days Conger.
Mm-hmm.
She's labeled as Days Conger in the captions.
What do you guys think about the updated like snake as a wheel versus like the snake intertwining with the wheel? Have you guys discussed that yet?
No, we haven't really talked about that in the rewatch.
I mean, just as a visual like logo representation of the.
You know, I never thought about it specifically because I've seen it depicted so many times at Jordan Con and in different art as that also.
Yeah,
and it's just also like the original Ouroboros too. It's just
yeah.
I
mean, it works.
I mean, I like it. I don't mind it at all. I just thought it was kind of interesting that they.
Yeah,
I think maybe the snake intertwining with the wheel as like an infinity symbol would be just too complicated.
Well, what I thought when they first showed it was that original looks a little like a certain mouse that is very litigious about.
That's true.
Anything that looks kind of like their intellectual property.
They own those 3 intertwining circles.
I mean, I'm not saying they do, but they might feel.
They will.
They
will eventually. Eventually, they will own.
They'll own everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time, and we will continue to pay for subscriptions so we can see stuff.
Right.
You're not wrong. So the trivia when they were just in the Blight says that the Blight's runs along the mountain range known as the Mount Doom. The land which is the land near where the Dark One is thought to be imprisoned. As a result, the flora, fauna, climate are all affected by the shadow. Everything in the Blight is toxic or poisonous, including the air.
Mm-hmm.
I wish they would have explored that more, like they do in the books.
Yeah.
But, I mean, obviously we know probably why they couldn't. I'm just hoping that we get to see better Blight in future stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, when Rand's like laying down and like taking a nap later, you're just like, what?
I mean, the thing about this,
you're just
this
laying
set
on the ground.
that they're using though is like to work in this set, they're gonna touch stuff. Of course. So I mean, once you have that as your location, like you have to scale it back a little bit because
they could have just done like a quick like he gets cut with something and she quickly heals him and says don't touch anything or like be careful. It could have taken 2 seconds.
Worse though because then
because then you're just like how many times are you stopping?
I don't know. Like so it seems like in the book it might have been like instantaneously like really bad and maybe here it's like well you gotta get more contact with the Blight before it's serious. I don't know.
It seems like you maybe have to be in there for a while. I mean which is fine.
I remember when I was watching this I was just sitting there staring at him sitting on that tree right now. I was like
just with his head against it.
It's really dumb, dude.
They just had no choice, right? They can't have him like just standing like at attention the whole time. It's not gonna work.
So they made it so tight though. Like we talked about it before that in the books they rode their horses through. So it was more like it was a more open forest.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I like that it's like this visually. It looks good.
Do you?
But...
It does look. It does look good. Yeah.
I hope that it's just this part of the Blight that looks good.
Just like a forest that's recently like decayed.
John agrees with Joe.
I've never agreed with Joe my entire life. It's not my favorite. I mean, the thing is, it's hard to really say yay or nay on a show when so much had to be changed due to certain things that happened with cast and with
your favorite episode. Get out of here, Matt. Come on.
Are the boots particularly good in this episode? Is that what I'm hearing?
Know. I mean, there's no reference to Lanfear.
I know, so it's got to be boots.
How is this your favorite episode? Like, I'm just mind blown by that. I don't know which one mine is, but it's not this.
I mean, Daniel Henney's ass is in a different episode.
That's 100%. Actually, the first 2 episodes are spectacular.
Right. We don't even get to see scars or anything on Daddy Land.
No scars.
get to hear him say these lines, though. So that's
yes,
something,
yeah. But I will be honest, I'm not that much of a romantic. Like, I'd rather see stuff blow up. Like, Die Hard's my favorite Christmas movie. That's where we are in my life. Die Hard, favorite Christmas movie.
Interesting. Mine's Home Alone.
That's
Merry
obvious
Christmas,
right
you
now.
filthy animals.
Okay, so
Oh.
Matt was
So
being
sarcasm?
sarcastic.
Now, what is sarcasm?
I don't.
Jono,
hold on,
it's the language you speak at all times.
English.
Oh,
Yeah. So English is sarcasm.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
when it comes out of Jono's mouth, it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I do really like the way they portray Nynaeve and Lan. Like, it's a bit more believable. Like, it wasn't all this unrequited love.
I enjoyed the never talking and then all of a sudden crying.
Well, yeah.
I'm
But
just kidding.
I know you are. But
Yeah.
I think it falls more in line with Nynaeve's personality.
I wish that bit of overgrowth on his hand was there when he actually woke up too.
Yes.
Because then the blight might actually seem dangerous. Like,
Yeah, and
Right.
have
that
you know,
part was real.
have
yeah,
some
that
sort
part
of, like,
maybe they could have done
But,
that.
well, don't forget this isn't real either.
Yeah.
Spoiler for 7 seconds from now.
So
Also,
here's
none
the
of
thing.
this is real.
Yeah.
So here's the thing.
TV show.
If we could have that nasty scene with him pulling that bat out of his mouth, that certainly could have been on his hand.
Yeah.
When he
Yeah,
was up
that's
here.
true.
Yeah. What do you guys
So-
think of how he looks?
I mean,
He looks better here than in all the flashy scenes.
Like, Bowser.
Yeah.
earlier.
yeah.
His head looked enormous in a lot of the quick cuts early on.
I love the mask. It looks really cool.
The movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jim Carrey classic.
Jim Carrey was great in that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Definitely
But
top five.
I love his look here, like the costume
Yeah, he's
and
pretty
everything.
He's a very interesting looking man. He's
Yeah.
doesn't look too much like Billy Zane.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Well,
No,
we'll
no one
allow
really
it,
does.
Honestly, miscast.
Yeah.
Should have been Billy fucking Zane, I think.
I really kind of wish they had some sort of, just a small part for him somewhere or something,
but maybe
Man,
I
I mean,
hope
that's,
they do.
there's plenty of seasons to come,
That's true.
hopefully.
yeah, it's not over.
Plenty of seasons to come is Lotta's cousin.
And
Brother
yeah,
Dan.
See, yeah.
you knew he
Everyone
wasn't
knows.
Yeah, see, we knew.
Everyone knows Tom doesn't show up to
Yeah,
things.
yeah. Tom
But-
died.
No one seems to notice.
No.
But
He'll be-
I do really like just this interaction with them. Like, I like the way he
Yes.
talks to Rand, the familiarity that he has, the way
Yes.
he's just like laughing at him. I don't know. Basically, these three characters are like collectively my favorite part of this episode.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't disagree. Some of my favorite, I guess, spoiler alert.
No, you're good.
Some of my favorite stuff in the entire series is anytime we get Rand interacting with the Forsaken, or anytime we get Forsaken chapters, like where we see an a larger point of view. And this is a very kind of like take yourself out of this dumb scene right here is what Ishami was saying. Like move a little further back,
Right.
and it's not necessarily wrong, but at the same time, he's not wrong, but he's kind of it's. I guess congratulations to him on his suicide plan too.
Also, that goes against Dream World mechanics, right?
Well, maybe.
If he's actually only if he was actually in Tel'aran'rhiod, and that
Sure.
wasn't just
Physically
Ishamael going into his dream. Which
Yeah,
is
I think
dangerous.
it was.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was the second part. Yeah.
All right,
I mean,
you
that's-
hold me out of it.
I mean, that's what they did. That's what he did in the first book.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
But that's
Yeah.
also because Robert Jordan might not have even created Tel'aran'rhiod.
Yeah, I don't think he
Yeah.
knew the
Yeah.
rules yet, though.
Yeah.
You know.
That's
So,
probably Rafe's fault though for not telling him the rules. So I blame Rafe for that.
yeah, definitely. Rafe's
So,
fault.
Moraine looks so frazzled this entire episode, but
She
I
does.
like it because she
Yeah.
absolutely should be frazzled.
I
So
also
glad-
wish that she had pulled out a Buddha statue right now, like it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, with
the
a sword
in
across
hand.
his lap.
Yeah.
Little fat man with a sword, Angriel, is what you're referring to, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
So in
yeah.
the book, and which is like everyone just like for kind of just like universally accepted it as a Buddha statue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah,
a
well,
Yoda
they've made up
Buddha.
something different here.
Tom made this in high school. Look how bad it is.
Oh my god.
I mean, that's on brand. It's on brand.
Isn't that amazing, though?
It is. It is. So Brother Dan asks, are the seals able to be moved, or are they set in stones? And Tom, you want to talk
Good
about your
question
theory?
for
That
Ray.
Yeah.
I think you got. Well, but didn't Tom get confirmation about the seals already?
Well, not really. Like, so Michael Livingston published the Origins of the Wheel of Time book, and only because I want to stare at his mustache again. I still have that.
Look at that Michael Livingston, what a handsome devil.
Look at him. All right.
I know.
In that book, under Eye of the World, there it says "Si Sama Nese," which is this, and it says Jordan originally imagined that there was not just one Eye of the World, but 7. Each of these would be associated with the seal on the board. Blah blah blah. So when I did my original review of episode 8 last year, I was like, here's my theory. I think there are 6 other locations.
I actually
that
thought the
just
same
that
thing.
one.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. Because
So,
the
like-
way it cracks later.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then I was I doubled down on it when we got the clip when it shows Ishamael walking up the stairs and
Right.
then reaching with the bloody woman who everyone thinks
Yeah.
is Lanfear.
I think that. Yeah, I do think that's Lanfear, but that's just for Matt. For
Yeah.
Matt's.
So there's 7 eyes of the world, 7 locations, 7 Forsaken. Like they're like I think.
I don't even know if they'll refer to it as Eye of the World, maybe, but
Well, they
maybe
did in
there's
this
one Eye of the World, but there's 6 other locations that are
Yes,
similar
exactly.
to
Yeah.
Yes.
Nostrils
But-
of the face.
There's 6
Yeah.
other locations, and then the
There's the
actual-
ear holes, the nostrils, the mouth,
and then the brown eye.
Oh,
But
and the anus.
the brown eye of the world.
Yeah, the brown
Oh,
eye of the world.
no.
We figured it out.
The seals are actually probably part of the floor, like they're built into the ground.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I did
We'll
want
see
to
them
just
take it.
mention, because we passed this part, but there's a scene there with Nynaeve and she's trying to listen to the wind and she can't. So, for anybody who's like, oh, where is there about nothing about Nynaeve's block? That's
It's
it.
coming.
Like
Yeah.
well, that's right there. Like she's saying that
Hmm.
ever since she channeled, she can't listen to
Oh,
the
yeah,
wind.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's either the first time she channeled or the first time she did it consciously. We'll have to
That's
wait
what
and
it
see.
is. Yeah.
But,
That's what I think it is.
But
Oh, yeah,
so her
definitely
block
consciously.
has come.
Wow.
So, there it is.
Yeah. In a
Luke
past
and I are
episode-
on the same page.
You and Luke are
Yeah.
always on the same.
Luke
page.
Eyes Jedi is the best.
But in a previous episode, she talked about when Egwene had breakbone fever and how she
Mhm.
healed her. So
Yeah, so she's definitely channeled.
Well,
Yeah, I
She
agree.
Right.
didn't say she healed her, but I think
No.
I do think you're right.
that's
I do
what
think
she
you're right.
assumed. Well, I
Yeah,
think
that's- yeah.
that is when she assumed.
The implication
she
is
could.
that she healed her without knowing. Yeah.
Right, but I think at some point, like now that this has happened, she is looking back and realizing, like,
And going,
just like it
"Oh,
happens
yeah.
in the book.
Hold on.
Because
Just
the
Yeah,
same-
I mean, I totally
Yeah.
agree. I think that we're going to find
Yeah.
out that she was channeling before and not realizing it. But I'm just sort of,
Mhm.
saying because we haven't
Right.
been confirmed yet.
But also,
I agree.
if they're following the same rules as like people who are born with the spark, which Egwene and Nynaeve were, like if they're going to do born with the spark versus learning to
Yeah.
channel,
Right.
she would have had to have channeled or died by now. So
True.
Right.
Also,
I
can
don't
that
know if they'll
Sangreal
do
that
but
Rand has be used by a woman? Because
it does.
It seems like the answer is yes, because there hasn't been. Yeah,
Because she
They
says
never-
it's like infused by the power of men, but like she doesn't say a woman couldn't use it.
I don't
Therefore,
think we
Nynaeve and
know,
Egwene are
but-
still like candidates to be the Dragon
I
Reborn.
mean,
But I
I
was like,
think-
oh, it's curious that she has something that's like only if it is only for a man, like that she would have that.
I mean, we don't
Yeah.
know that she doesn't also have one for
That's
a
true.
woman.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
And the other thing
Just
is,
in
if it
case.
had been a woman, then she could have like linked with her or something. I mean, there would have been
Mhm.
other
Oh, yeah, yeah.
possibilities. So
So,
All right.
so in that part where she took out the Sangreal, the trivia for that was interesting actually. So it says there's 3 classes of of objects of the one power. Terangreal made for specific purposes. They can do things like a box when you open it plays music, a vase that can collect water out of the air, or
Go to a
matching-
fuckhole.
Take you to the FFH.
Yeah.
matching picture frames that act as portals to an unknown place.
What? It literally says that.
Yeah. And then
That's the
it
best.
describes Angriel and Sangreal as one being more powerful than the other.
Oh, okay.
So the same.
Yeah. So we just saw this.
Yeah, there's Guy Roberts.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Guy, and Guy donated to the
Did he?
Yes,
Of course
he did. I was
did.
like, it was scrolling through. I was like, Guy Roberts.
Guy Roberts is the best.
He's a very nice person.
Yeah.
Look at him. Look at him. I can't wait to hear him curse next season.
Yeah.
This guy would have been a
said-
great Ingtar too. I'm kind of sad that he's not Ingtar.
Oh, I'm sad that Umar is.
Yeah, I'm
not
sad he's not Ingtar, too.
But good for him being in Willow, and so
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great. I mean,
And he's great in Willow.
take
I
your
haven't gotten
opportunity.
to
I haven't
watch
watched
it
it
yet.
yet. Is it good, Tom?
I haven't
I
watched
like
it
it.
yet either.
I definitely like it a lot.
I want to go back to plugging Guy Roberts, if you know what I mean. He's apparently a long-term Wheel of Time fan,
Yeah.
and a friend of Alan Romanchuk from a long fucking time.
Whom we know and love.
Yeah.
Cool.
So he just seems like the fucking nicest dude.
he does.
Can't wait.
Yes, I really like.
I'm
him.
sorry, the flaming nicest dude.
Flaming
Nicest,
goat
nicest
kissing.
flaming dude.
Yeah.
The nicest bloody flaming dude.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Goat
he's gonna have
kissing,
some mother's
fucking
milk in a
flaming.
cup. You I don't know.
Mother's milk in a
Ass
cup, dude.
Uh, goat
Now that-
Spavine something or other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
you
do
know,
like
you
the design of this,
I mean,
by the way.
It looks sick.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool.
I'll be honest. I didn't think they made it like that in the. the Age
Jonna,
of
that was
Legends.
a Jeopardy question. I know this was. You got it wrong.
Oh,
You did. I saw that. I
Mm.
saw that happen.
So
I
did,
get a lot.
So did Delusions, though. So
yeah. All right.
I mean-
It's good. Because there's a way better chance she would get things right than I.
that's correct. Yeah.
I
So,
also
let's
want to
just-
say.
Oh, go ahead,
Rebecca.
Ebony. No, go ahead.
It's a
Ebony.
Sarlacc pit.
I was just gonna say, the more I see Yosha as Rand, I'm like, yeah, that is Rand. Like, I feel like
Yeah, I
he
agree.
really-
He was
He's
cast
great.
really well.
Everyone was.
I like him as
Yes.
Rand a lot.
And what I was gonna say is
Yes.
like right there, him trying to get Moiraine to not go with him because she might die. Like that's Rand.
Mhm.
And then, of
Big
course,
Rand
she's
ass
like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
One of my favorite her as Moraine bits is when they exit the Waygate and she's just like, she can see that they're all like horribly shaken and upset,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Hey, that thing you heard, don't listen to it," and it just
Yep,
moves on, and they're
yep.
just like, "You didn't say like it's okay, it's not real, or comfort them in
I
any
know.
way." She
No,
just goes
No.
like, "Hey,
She
that
can't
thing
lie.
he may or may not have said, that wind may not have
Yeah.
said to you. Move on.
Yeah.
Who cares?"
Yeah. That was very
Great.
Moiraine.
She can't lie, so
Mm-hmm.
The other thing, since we're on this scene with Agumar and Amalisa, that I just,
Mhm.
I feel like it's important to point out, like they emphasize many times between these two characters, they both know that the gap, they do not expect the gap to hold. Like, so their
Yeah.
whole battle strategy or whatever, they're not trying to win at the gap because they don't.
Yeah,
think
they're
they
trying to
can.
stop as many as they can. Yeah.
So, just something to keep in mind.
And for as long as you can.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
and
It's-
they
it's
go
really-
Mandarin
into it
style.
in depth here, but
Yeah.
they've emphasized it a lot in this.
Lisa-
episode.
Yeah,
Science,
hold until help arrives that's not coming.
Yeah.
book cloaks are gonna book cloak, and they'll complain
yeah.
about whatever.
Yeah, but but in this one, I would say it's not just book cloaks. I think a lot of people like really don't love this episode, and I mean, I understand.
I
that.
don't
It's
not like this episode for the Tarwin Scat bits.
Yeah, some people
Yeah, no, it's not
really
that.
don't like that part.
There's
but-
parts. There's part. It's really hard to parse through what I like and don't like, neutrally, and then what I like and don't like as compared to what I think that they could and should have done.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard.
I mean, and it's a weird thing too to like. I don't want to say anything negative about a show because I want things to go well and I want the people to know that their work is appreciated. But at the same time, I do want to say something negative if I think it's going to have a positive output.
But
Yeah.
you want constructive criticism. That's what.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
sure,
I
yeah.
don't want to shit all over everything because I'm an asshole. So there's a weird. It's a balancing act.
So I think that's a
So
good
when I
example of
rewatched the
it.
show for Twat Pretty Jono, like I found myself like loving it way more than I thought I would the third time around. And and granted, that's first time was like shock and awe of the series being made. Second time was just rewatching it for our dumb show, and then so really quickly and just making notes, like not really appreciating it. And this third time around, I was like, I actually got to like watch and just watch, and I really enjoyed it. every
Nice.
minute. I was like
Yeah.
shocked at how much I was like, oh, that doesn't bother me at all anymore.
Don't
You know,
forget
kind of
to
thing. Like you just kind of like it's really good. I actually really like it a lot.
I think
No.
there's
Chat,
definitely
chat. Don't
some
forget
of
to get
that.
your questions in. Make sure to
Yeah.
start posting questions so I can save them. I haven't seen too many pop up yet.
Rebecca, I kind of cut you off. What are you saying?
Oh no, that I was just going to agree. I think that there's definitely something to that. Like for big time book fans, like the first time you're watching, you're anxious. You're like anxious about
Yeah,
like how it's
yeah.
going to go, and you
Yes.
have certain expectations, and it's hard not to focus on that versus just watching it, letting it unfold. You know. So.
Yeah, a good point that you brought up already was the Nynaeve's block thing. It's very subtle,
Yeah.
but it was there,
Mhm.
and you
there,
pick up on
yeah.
a lot of that stuff. There's a lot of that peppered through the show.
Oh,
Right.
That's like
Right.
super subtle,
Yeah,
And
did
this
but
that.
it's
scene-
there representing the books. But they're as Rafe said in his tweet earlier, they have to stick to that breakneck pace, and it's
Yeah.
like
It's
you
so
know they
hard
get a
to-
lot
And some
accomplished
things-
with those choppy scenes.
And
They
some
have
things
to,
they
like-
might need to do differently, and like they'll give themselves a reason. Like so, in this scene,
Mhm.
Maureen talks about how they don't actually know anything about the Eye of the World because Dark Friends purged the White Tower
Right.
library. So
That was interesting.
you know, so again, like in this turning of the wheel, they perhaps know a lot less about this particular location and what this actually is and what's going on. So that's something that I don't know, they chose. Maybe that helps them in writing this script, and it makes it make more sense. In this,
Also, the fact that they know this location is because Malkir's not 40 years past, you know, like...
Yeah.
So the Blight was beyond this point. Like, they must have come here many times and, like, looked at it and tried to study it, or...
yeah, that's
You
true.
know.
Right.
This
Right,
isn't,
because-
like, theoretically, this wasn't really in the Blight. It's not protected by Sameshta, so it's not like, you know...
Right.
Right.
You know,
Right.
It's different.
it's not the
Yeah, it
same
wasn't-
kind of Eye of the World that we got in the books,
No.
which is probably
Yeah.
for the better, because
I
that was
mean, I
confusing
never
and
expected to
bizarre.
get Sameshta. Like
Oh,
that,
no.
I just
Yeah.
never, ever, ever
Gotta get
expected that.
But-
That was a good question, Jason.
They could be varying sizes. I hadn't thought of that. I like that idea.
I mean, every hole is different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nostrils
All right.
are way smaller than eyes.
Not always.
So I think as book readers, I think we just have to remember what the end goals are. Like we've got to kind of forget the journey that we know. Like the major tentpole things we know. We know Rand is the dragon.
Mhm.
Yep.
We know what's going to happen to Egwene, but we don't know how we're going to get there anymore.
Yeah.
So I think,
Right, like-
but I think that's hard to do as a book reader the first time you see it.
I
My-
think
my
a lot
excitement-
of... So, go ahead, Tom.
Oh, all right. But my excitement is we get new Wheel of Time content. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm sure that the not to steal from Brandon Sanderson a little bit, but like, you know, the journey is going to be different, but the destination is going to be the same. So like,
Right.
like that's going to be the exciting part is like seeing a way that
Like
Rafe
Dark
and the other
Rendina
way.
instead of in Four Kings
Right.
instead of
Absolutely.
you know, that
Right.
was a surprise to people that were watching. That
But
had
it was
read
so
the books.
good. It was so
great.
Yeah,
good.
it was great.
So we just saw the scene where Rand is holding a baby. Now in the other
Yeah.
episode, Min sees him holding a baby,
Yeah.
right? I don't know
Um,
if is it the same? Is she
I don't-
just seeing like a
It
possible
seems like
outcome?
it's
They
the
look
same,
different.
but I don't know.
They look different. I think this baby looks older than the other.
Yeah, it
baby.
does look older. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true.
Doesn't
So, but I-
definitively mean it was a different baby, so I can't
Right.
say that. But
Right, but we know
It was
that
just 2 weeks
Min-
between scenes.
so one
Well,
thing that is
we-
really funny, is I just remember like WhatSeries.com and Geeky Airy like obsessively like talking about how they were looking for babies because they were always looking for babies, and I think it's because they had to like delay filming. They were looking for them and then they had to look for them again, and I wonder, you know, if it was originally supposed to be like the same baby for both scenes, and then they
Oh,
they had
maybe,
delayed for
yeah.
2 months,
Like a
more
COVID
than
problem?
2 months.
had to
Yeah.
use different ones.
Yeah,
But on
Yeah.
the other hand, they're different ages, so maybe that's deliberate. Maybe it really is supposed to be different. So it leaves open some questions, but interesting.
well, yeah, but I know with Min's visions, at least in the book, it's always what certain things she was sure about. Like she was sure.
Yeah.
If she saw 2 people that were going to get married, she was sure about that. But
Mhm.
some things she saw, they weren't as sure. But she never says that
No.
Yeah.
when she's talking to Moraine.
And we talked about this last time that like she took a drink when she says she didn't know who the baby was, so she knows whatever it is. She knows. So
and so she doesn't have the baby because she's drinking. So that's an important.
Yeah, well, yeah, not at the moment anyway. Also, bye, Min.
Yeah. She cut her hair. What do you guys think?
Man,
of
don't
that?
go.
Well, she took her like
Finally, someone who's hiding cuts their hair is the first thing they do. Every time I watch a
think
movie,
she just took her headband down. Like she had.
I think
Yeah,
she
I
just
think it's
took
just-
her
hair
yeah,
up and she
yeah.
took it down.
maybe,
Yeah, she
maybe,
just-
yeah.
Yeah, she
I don't
just
know.
let
It
her-
does. Tom might be right. It might be a little short to put
I
up
think
in
it's
that
short.
little top.
Sorry,
knot.
guys. I have to tell you, it's as a woman, she just took her headband down. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Well,
all.
I mean, I
well,
was on your
okay.
page originally. Tom changed my mind.
I used to have hair longer than you've got. I know.
Did you wear
That's true.
headbands? I mean, you know.
I wore a
That's true.
ponytail pretty often. I wore a headband when I played soccer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. How dare you?
Was that a snub? Was that a snub at Guy Roberts' height? That's not nice.
Was it?
How dare they?
I think they were just it was the pickaxes.
I know. I'm messing up.
Yes.
I really like the
But
way the
obviously,
Trollocs-
Uno is grumpy, right?
yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
He's got to be
Did
grumpy.
you know?
I like
He's
the
not
way
sleepy.
the Trollocs
He's not
look.
dopey.
I like the way the Mergel look. My only thing with the Mergel is like often in the books, the Mergel would be mistaken for like a human.
Yeah.
At first sometimes.
Mhm.
Doesn't seem like that would happen. I mean, if you had your hood down enough, I mean, I
And the
guess
mouth
like they're
was
human
closed.
sized. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
right.
we
Close
haven't
your mouth. Put your
Yeah,
hood down.
keep your mouth
and-
shut.
Yeah.
Keep your head down.
shut, yeah.
we haven't found
Yeah.
out if they can talk yet.
I assume
Yeah,
they
they really
can,
just screamed.
But
I
They
hope
can
they
say-
don't.
Which
I-
is
I-
Really?
Yeah.
I hope that they keep what happens in the series, like that part. Like
Really?
because
When Rand like meets that Myrddraal and Barrelon, like, and he like says shit, I was like, oh, that's creepy as fuck. You know, like I don't know. I just like I want that. I want those like creepy scenes of the Myrddraal talking.
Well, so I don't really like creepy, but I want us to be able to see like the first version and then 2.0. Like I like that. I liked that because I was like, oh, that maybe the bad guys are getting scared because now they're like, oh, this is gonna be tougher than we thought. We gotta go back to the drawing board.
The scene with Jaichim Carradine and the Myrddraal is also amazing.
Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah. Yeah, that's would you put it in your spoiler thing, by the way?
By the
No,
way,
okay.
did you guys get the
No one knows who that
impression
is.
through watching the episodes that Perrin had actually like adopted the Way of the Leaf as like
A little bit.
Like I feel like that was handled very poorly.
yeah, I mean, he's sort of talking it up in episode 7.
A little bit, yeah, to
Rand,
Rand when he's like talking about
like
fish and chicken and
explaining
stuff.
it and stuff.
Yeah.
But no, I if he's supposed to have adopted it, then no, that
Yeah,
was
they didn't do a good job
but
at all.
I think
But
he
I
was.
don't-
I think he's just
showing that.
confused and
Right,
trying
right.
to.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
I think-
I mean, are you kidding? Like, really? From episode
Well,
8, I
that-
would
that
say
is hard.
he's fully adopted it, and we're seeing the ramifications of that, and they did
I
a horrible
don't-
job of showing how that
Also-
got to be.
That's
Also
definitely
maybe.
not how I thought of it. I think it's just going back to him not wanting to touch the axe because of episode 1.
Right.
And I
mean,
think it's
This-
as simple as that.
The-
But,
This
you know,
parent has a lot more baggage than book parent.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's true. I mean, like right now, he's got a 100% chance of killing a woman. Like every time he picks up the axe.
True.
I can understand being a little concerned about it.
Yeah, I mean, I really think that's what it's about. Not that he's adopted the Way of the Leaf.
So-
Then
I don't
that's why
think he has.
It seems
Is
like
that
he
a-
has, because the way he's talking to Loyal is like,
Jonah,
is this
that
what
a
we're supposed to be
stat
doing?
that's
This is
on the axe?
ridiculous. Like, I've done this new thing, and now it's not working for me, kind of thing.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think
the
the
dialogue
subtext of that
there is,
conversation.
you know,
I-
could. be
I
taken
think
that way,
it's
guess.
still just confusion. I think he's thinking about what the Tinker said, and like if he lived that way, could he have avoided what happened in
For-
episode 1?
For our
Like-
for World of Warcraft fans in the audience, his axe it says plus 100% chance of killing your wife, and it's soul bound to Perrin Ibar.
Yeah, yeah.
He was very excited to be a widower because guess what? Doesn't have a wife to kill again. You know?
And that's
How about
why
that?
Look, you made Joe leave, Jono.
Oh no.
How do y'all ever do a show together?
I just needed a drink.
awful.
Relax.
We do a very shitty show.
Oh, speaking of
Okay,
drinks,
so you have done enough shows with Jono to know how many drinks you need to get through a show. There's no reason.
Well, I
you
wanted
shouldn't
it
get
cold
enough,
in the
Joe.
refrigerator until I needed it, Ebony. I mean, that's fine.
Get a mini fridge, Joe.
He's got one in the room.
I just got back. Did you see how quickly I got back?
Yeah.
Where do you think I got that from?
You could literally be at your dining room table with this
Listen,
elaborate backdrop.
I don't like this. I don't like this tone you're taking with the Empress, Joe.
May she live forever.
Hey, I'm trying
He's
to
my
watch these
favorite
people
though,
make
so
out.
it's okay.
By the way, the
You're
very
watching the
still
same show.
not moving baby.
That is not
Yeah, I
accurate.
just-
That is not
It felt like
accurate.
it felt like someone stabbed me in my back right there. That was
It's creepy.
I had flashback to let you another great person that goes to Jordan Con a lot. Her name is Leslie. She often brings her incredibly lifelike, like one of those baby dolls.
I
that
love
looks
that
like
baby.
Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
I
That thing
love that.
haunts my nightmares.
I love that
I
child
don't.
baby.
Yeah, I don't want to like.
Tom's
like,
reaction came from inside, like you
Yeah.
can tell.
That's,
Yes.
Her name is Leslie Anus, and
That was
she's a
visceral.
delightful Canadian.
You're talking about Missy's baby.
And it's not her baby. It's yes. It is
Missy,
a
yeah,
baby
Missy,
Trolloc. It is like one of
Yeah.
those like baby dolls that looks like
Yes.
super lifelike, and it's like
Yes.
silicone.
She makes
I like
those,
it.
Tom.
Yeah,
I like it.
I have one in my closet, and that's not even a weird thing to say.
What do you guys think about Moraine being like blocked or cut off from the source or
She's got a shield.
a useless plot device for later for second season?
Not
Why?
useless.
No.
Not
Why?
useless.
No.
So Rosamund Pike and in book 2, Moraine has no story, so they needed to give her something to do.
I mean, she does have no story in book
Grown.
2. It's very true.
She has
How dare you.
she has a POV chapter where she meets
Listen.
Annalise and Vandine,
Yeah.
and then she comes back at the end, and that's it.
That's true. But
And
they're
Rosamund
combining it.
Pike-
There's a lot of book 2 and 3 in season 2 or second.
Yeah, and
season,
again,
right?
she all she does is trudge across the
Chase
the
Rand.
continent. Yeah, like she does very
Here's the
little
thing.
in both of those
I read a lot of comics, and every time I see a comic book movie or whatever that depowers Superman or Wolverine or whatever the case may be, it's like, oh, I've read this 1,000 times.
Yes.
Why are we
I have-
doing
well,
this? It's
they're
so
going on their
dumb.
quest. They have to
Well,
go-
It's the worst storyline.
I mean,
Every-
If she
Brand-
has nothing to do, think of something better than just cutting her off from the source and being like, she's got to learn to be without the one power, and it's going to be very tough for her. And then suddenly she'll be able to use it again.
She's gonna
and
have
it's going to
to
be
wait.
amazing.
She's gonna have to wait for an attendant to heat up that bath that she's taking in Kyrian.
The
here-
worst.
Or
Yeah.
a milk bath, too. Am I right?
I think trust Rosamund Pike to do justice to whatever. it
Okay,
is.
She'll make
I just
anything
had
good.
a
That
thought.
doesn't make it a good storyline, though.
All right, I just had a thought. So
We'll have to wait and see.
they're very poignantly showing the hand with the ring on it right now,
Mhm.
Yeah.
with him controlling this dream sequence.
Okay.
Are those like? Is there? You think there's any linkage there in any
No,
way?
I think it's just kind of connecting him to Luce Theron in terms
Yeah.
of like,
Like
that
they were in this.
age.
They were maybe.
yeah,
had
they
the
were
same
of the
status
same like,
or whatever.
yeah.
And because the
What-
costume does
was-
that as well.
The costume
Yes.
100% does that, yeah. But correct me if I'm wrong, and chat too. Wasn't Ishamael just a philosopher? Like, was he an Aes Sedai?
Yes.
I don't.
Yeah.
Well, he was, like, of course, he was an Aes Sedai, right?
Mhm.
That you could channel.
He was. He
Every-
was not. He
But he
and
was
all
a
the
philosopher.
Forsaken. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Jonna. All the
No,
Forsaken
no,
were Aes
you're-
Sedai.
Okay.
But
Exactly
his
correct.
job, they all had jobs outside of.
Okay.
They didn't
Yeah.
necessarily use that ability. Their ability
Yeah, like
to
Asmodean
channel
was like a
in their
mechanic of Joe cars.
Yeah, man.
Asmodean is my favorite Forsaken. Okay, so
Yeah, everyone talks about how chill Asmodean is, and I have to remind them every single time that
No, he
Asmodean.
gave his mother to murder.
Yeah, but also he would any city that he took over during the War of Shadow, he cut the thumbs off every artist, and not just musicians, painters, sculptors, stone
I think that-
everybody. Yeah,
That's a
That-
good move.
That's bad.
That's how you
Yeah.
become the best, Tom. It's a cutthroat business.
Yeah.
Cut thumb business. It is a
That
cut
man-
thumb business.
Whoa!
It's a cut thumb business.
What do you guys think about them excavating something here?
I mean,
The Horb?
The horb.
The horb-
The horb.
The Horb, as Dan put it?
Yeah.
I I'm totally fine with it. Like
Someone
we
also
don't
asked a
have
question that I.
the
It was Dan.
we don't have the Green
well,
Man.
go ahead,
we
Rebecca.
don't have
Yeah, we don't have the
anything.
cash, if you will, there.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not sure. I like so a lot of the things I don't like from this entire season, but there's a lot of it in this episode. Either stem from the lack of budget, rewriting that they have to do had to do because of Matt, and
I think that's my main problem.
COVID.
Yeah, but then
The Matt thing.
The third one,
The rewrites for Matt.
Yeah, for sure. But the third one is something that's a little bit harder to pin down, and I don't want to I don't want to say I dislike it, is because there's story that I don't know how they're gonna how are they going to marry this with with
later
gotta
things.
Wait. Yeah, you gotta wait and find out, I guess.
Right.
So.
Yeah, you gotta wait.
I don't want to trash something and then the next episode be like, God damn it, that makes sense now.
Yeah.
Rebecca, what were you saying a second ago?
Well, so I do like that the horn was brought in now and stolen now, because it helps kick things off in season 2, as opposed to waiting for it to be stolen in season 2. It slows everything down at the beginning. So I like that it's already stolen.
Okay.
And so having it here facilitates that, makes that happen more quickly in this episode. So I'm fine with it, because I think it gets things moving in the second season.
Also, the way the Eye of the World is in the show versus the books doesn't make any sense. You know, to do it that way. You know what I mean?
Right, it doesn't.
But I do like Dan's question, Tom, if you want to find that comment again somehow.
Yeah.
But he was like, what was the idea of do the Shanirians know, or is it hidden knowledge, or is the location widely known? I would assume the latter. It's a hidden thing that's passed down. The king, only the king knows, and he tells two guys.
It seems it seemed like he told 2 guys. Like he had his 2 guys that he's like, okay, do the thing, because you're the only ones who can do the thing.
I tell the same thing to 2 guys.
Hey. He had, So hold on real quick. Minor spoiler. Well, not really. It's a spoiler.
Spoiler alert.
So we know that they're going to do book 2.
Sure.
Yeah.
So honestly, just getting back to what you were saying about their the story beats for season 2, stealing the horn and beat. I think they're going to do the main story beats for book 2, and then all of the ancillary stuff that happens in book 3 is going to also happen in season 2. Yeah. And if I had a guess, I would say season 3 starts with, spoiler for book 3, the fall of Tyr, and ends with him going into the waste, and possibly even some of the later end of book 3 stuff happening by the end of season 3. So that they're going to be into book 4 and 5 in season 4. If they get that. I hope they do.
Rafe has said that season 3 will be a fairly close adaptation of book 4. So just keep that in mind. So it doesn't mean there won't be other stuff in there too. But I would say we would get the bulk of book 4 in season 3.
Yeah. So if they started off with the fall of the stone with the Aiel, and then ended with Ruidian, and then season 5, and then season 4 was, or season 5 was leaving the waste and going back to Kyrian, that would make sense. Especially because he's already said they can't do
need to speed it up, but I don't know.
Speed it up. Yeah.
They're not going to do 14 seasons. So
we don't know. We don't know that. Let's get back to this. What do you guys think about these women killing some Trollocs and slowly getting burned out?
I think this is another case of when Robert Jordan wrote the first book, he didn't plan how the One Power worked. So he had Rand teleport all over the damn world, which makes no sense.
Yeah.
So they were like, all right, now that we have all of the knowledge of the Wheel of Time in front of us, and we know that he kind of retconned this stuff, they had to change it, so they gave it to them. I like that. I like that the idea here is the implication is what they don't know how to link correctly, so they kind of messed that up.
I think possibly, but also Sarah Nakamura said that they did remove the buffer. That is one change they made to the lore, that when linking, there is no buffer that prevents
you by doing so willingly, you offer yourself up to be burnt out, basically.
There's that
pretty
risk. Fucking
and
sick, man.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it ups the stakes to do that.
It ups, yeah, for sure.
And I think it makes sense to me that Amelisa would be completely unprepared for the amount of
I love
I
this
love the way
visual,
this.
by the way.
Yeah, I was just about to
Yeah,
say
yeah.
I love the way this looks.
Yes.
Yes.
I win
And
again.
by the way, we didn't really get to talk about that, but I love what they did with Rand at the eye. Like the choice offered to him, the choice he makes, that being what his battle is at the eye. I love that. So that's a choice that totally works.
So I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
When you watch episode 8 and like knowing what we know from the books, like how easy would it have been to make some like weird blip where he's in 3 places at once, and what he's also doing to the Dark One is also like helping kill the Trollocs at Tarwin's Gap or something like that, you know, like where like they see him. How else do you get the like the Massima like psychotic love of Rand as the dragon kind of thing? Like where does that come from?
Well, that happens later.
Yeah,
but it happens because he saved them at the Gap. Like, he saves them at the Gap, and all those Chernerian warriors are like, oh my god, that guy came out of nowhere.
No, he still hates him in book 2. He doesn't.
Yeah,
it's not until book 3.
It happens at the end of book 2.
It's the flicker. It was the flicker that really drove him over the edge. But he does reference the Tarwin's Gap thing also.
But it's
the flicker that pushes him.
Right, but the rest of the Chernerian soldiers are like, you're a lord. And I think, you know, like, I don't know. There could be something there. That's all.
The Lord thing was his name. That was some goofy thing. But
right. But I don't think it would have worked, Joe, because you would have to have 2 background knowledge, right? Like non-book readers, I don't know what understand. I don't know that they would make that connection.
I think that's what makes it doable, though, because like without the background knowledge, you could just have him like flicker into place in front of Tarwin's Gap, and it would make no sense to someone that hasn't read the books. But to anyone that's read the books, they'd be like, oh, I get it, you know. And now he's in Tarwin's Gap, and he's somehow holding back some of the Trollocs or helping them, not even taking that from them, but helping them in a way.
If like Robert Jordan did, and then they never use that ability again.
Yeah, it would make no sense. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because and if they made it so that Rand can just teleport at will, like that's.
Well, he does later.
Sure.
But you know, at this point, I think it's always risky to like introduce something and then not use it. So
real quick. Two things. One is how many people, like shout out in chat and you guys, when he burnt or disintegrated or whatever he did to Ishamael, when he was smiling, how many of you heard "I win again, Lutheran" in your head?
Yeah, everyone.
I hear that every time I climax. I hear that. I hear the time.
Yep.
Do the thing.
Yeah.
Tom, you're supposed to be on point with that.
I'm sorry. I
should have control. I should have control.
You should.
I've got a very strong Jono filter.
I was picturing it.
He calls it a diva cup, his filter.
How on earth, and will we see it in season 2, did Padden Fane get that dagger? What did Lan do? Just wrap it up in a cloth and put it in the garbage can in the inn?
Yep.
We've got to see that in season 2. That does bother me. I need to know what happened.
Oh, it drives me crazy. So he's in the ways like right after them. So he must have gotten it right away. Like there's no time.
My prediction for the cold open. My prediction for the cold open for episode 8 was a montage of Padden Fane. And everything that he was doing in the background of each episode of the
that would have been good.
That'd be badass.
It would also be good for episode 1, though. Rebecca, what were you going to say?
That's what I was going to say. I think they're going to do that.
There's a reference in episode 7 about them leaving the dagger behind in Tarvalon. Like I forget, Egwene says something about it or whatever. Yeah. So my guess is yes. She says Matt probably went back for that stolen dagger. Like so. I assume that Moiraine left it in the White Tower because where else would you put it? But then how did
Egwene doesn't know, or Egwene doesn't know that like she's assuming Moiraine left it at the White Tower.
The last we see it, Lan wraps it up in like a cloth.
Why would they include that line?
I think he just put it in the. I think he just put it in the trash.
I don't think he put it in the trash, but I don't
that
think
would be
Moiraine
horrible.
gave it to the White Tower either.
I think he was just like, "This is no one should touch this." The garbage man will get it on Wednesday. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry. Basil Gill will throw it out. It's fine.
I mean, because Padden Fane could have stolen it from the inn, but then I feel like I don't know. I feel like Maureen.
No, it's got to be from the White Tower, right?
Like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
she had to have like thought she secured it, right? Like, there's no way she would just be like, eh. So, like, she had to have put it in the White Tower, and he somehow stole it from there. But I need to see it. I need to know.
I demand a cold open from you, Rafe Judkins.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to see. I
Demand.
really want to see more Patton Fane.
Patton
But
Fane, I really liked him in this episode, though. By the way, like,
I think he's a great
Oh,
character.
he's great.
I love this
There are
actor
some
too.
characters that I'm not up to speed with. Like I'm not like really sure I like that one. But Peyton Fane, this one I think is pretty bad.
Oh, Rapunzel! I love that. Leandrin gives it to
Oh.
Patton
That's-
Fane.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean that's exactly what
Yeah.
happens in the books. Well, not exactly, but actually not at all. Is it? No, it's a different.
No, but I
guy.
like that. I like that
Uh,
angle.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
we know
quite
she's meeting
plausible.
a man.
But yeah, I feel like we
Yeah.
danced around the whole idea, right? That he somehow like if we just combine with certain plots, like there it is, right?
So maybe it'll be revealed when like Leandrin is revealed.
Revealed, yeah.
You know.
So, by the way, guys, Perrin did pick up the axe. So, like, I mean, you know, again, I don't think he's adopted the way of the leaf. I mean, it was a
I think
struggle
that's
for
a
him.
hell
But he
of a-
picked it
I
up.
don't think he adopted it either. I think he's struggling with it.
Yeah.
The same
He
way
picked up
struggled
the
with it
axe,
in the
but
book.
Patton Fane talked him out of it in like
No, he
10
had it-
seconds.
But he had it
It's
in his
a combination.
hands. Like, he did.
Yeah, and he's
pick it
like,
up.
I can kill you, and he's like, oh, look at that, you fell right into the axe. Look
Yeah.
at, you know, like you're the worst,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
mean,
and he's like,
yeah.
I
Patton
am
Fane
the
knows
worst,
how
and he just
to-
lets him leave.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what-
Patton Fane knows how to play him. You know, he knows exactly what to say.
That's
Also-
slippery Patton Fane.
He knows how to play on his inner struggles with the
Yeah,
way
he's
he
been
acts.
watching him for like 6-7 years.
He also
Yeah,
knows
he-
Perrin is the one that takes so long to make a decision, right?
Mhm.
He knows Perrin is the.
We're gonna
Perrin
get
is
the whole
The
opening
slow
character
thinker.
monologue.
right. Like
and
if it was
it's
Matt,
20 minutes.
it would have never happened because Matt.
Thorough.
Is,
Yeah.
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 Thorough
Right.
thing.
yeah.
I wonder how differently this episode would have played if, you know, Matt was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there.
I mean,
Yeah.
I do wonder that.
Let's
I
not
really
do that. Let's not do that. Fuck you, Joe.
I know. I know.
This is
Um,
one of the big things that I really don't like is that
Yeah, I
like,
agree.
it seems like Nynaeve is dead and she brings her back to life.
Mhm.
And
They
that's
went
Yeah, I
way too hard on that makeup. That
It
they
also
just-
does.
Yeah.
It does seem like she's dead, but also, and I said this to Jono and Tom when we first like rewatched this for the show or our show, but like, why not flip these roles? Like, what's the point of making Egwene the one that?
Because she has
Like,
to be-
Nynaeve's
I
known
mean,
for healing. Nynaeve knows what she's doing. Like, Nynaeve would do anything to
But-
save Egwene. Like,
right, but as we know in the future, Egwene has a bigger role. So I think they're laying the foundation.
oh, for
for
her
her-
being like more important, sort of.
Ebony,
More
that makes
important.
sense. But at the same
More
time, like,
powerful, more
Okay.
everything.
I don't think it undermines Egwene to be brought back by Nynaeve. If anything, like characters brought back to life obviously have a second purpose to their life. Like so, like, and then it just
Well,
fits in with
that's
the
true.
But
character.
she wasn't brought back to life though, because
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
she
there's-
was not
dead.
dead.
right. in this case. But so Nynaeve
Oh.
wasn't either.
No, Nynaeve is
it-
not dead. They just went too
No.
heavy on the makeup and made it look
Yeah, between the
too-
makeup and the lighting, it was a hot mess.
Exactly. Yeah. They
Oh,
No
that's
pun
my
intended.
fault. That's my
No pun intended.
Also,
Yeah. You know-
also, I didn't just stop reading the trivia. The trivia for this episode ended at 20 minutes into the episode. There was no trivia after
Okay.
after the tar. There was like what after. So there's the triangle, and then it just explains what Tarwin's gap is after that. At 20
You know,
minutes.
we talked about Moraine being cut off and like what that means for her for season 2, but I'm interested to know what this means for Lan too, because I mean the first thing he says is unblock or like take off the block or like unmask the
unmask
bond rather.
bond. Mhm.
And she's like I can't, kind of thing, and you're just
Yeah.
like
Oh wait, Sean Chan.
So
And
that's
that's what
an
could make it more
interesting.
interesting.
Maybe
Yeah.
Empress will live forever.
yeah,
That's an interesting like idea to explore too.
I agree.
like Lan's gonna see what it's like to not have the bond. Like it's been what
Yeah.
20 years.
20,
since-
yes, at least,
so-
at least.
So,
yeah.
so then, I mean, are they going to do it where he doesn't continue to travel with Moraine? Is he going to go
Maybe.
off Nynaeve?
He's gonna go out and fuck a lot of chicks.
Or is he going
He's like, I can
to,
finally,
Yeah.
or
finally
is he
Finally go
climax without
horror
her
around.
knowing
is
about
he
it.
still gonna, yeah. And this poor baby on this beach.
yeah.
Are you kidding? Look at her, pissing
Yes.
off everybody.
I mean, she had it coming.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, she's
Are
gonna
you
come.
kidding?
Who knows what this little girl did, man?
She should have
yeah.
looked at the horizon way earlier.
All those Damani are like, what are you doing? Digging for seashells? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
She's not
Here's a
taking
tidal
notes.
wave.
We got
So
stuff to
there's
do.
taking-
there's a scene in the teaser trailer for season 2
Yeah.
where you see a Shanshan like slam a door closed and fire comes out. It is one of these ships.
Oh yeah.
You could tell because it's the exact same door. Like if you look in the background here, you see the door, and to the left there's the ropes and shit. That is exactly where that Shanshan is standing when he slams that door shut.
What do you think about the lack of actual chain to like bracelet?
I like it.
Good.
We talked about this somewhere with somebody.
Yeah. It's too. I feel like the image is just it's too much.
Yeah.
But also like it's irrelevant because like they just take it apart later.
Yeah, we know
Jonah's
they
just
don't.
laughing at the death of that little girl.
It's such a giant overreaction for their first fucking girl here. Just like, you know what we're gonna do? Tidal wave.
Blasted that girl.
Wouldn't it be great if she was just like hauling ass towards the wave with like a surfboard?
Yeah.
Just like, whoa! That's the end. What?
If there had been like just the fucking vestige of something on like a town, like at the very southern border, because we're looking from the west, like to kind of see like, oh, there we go. Like that would have made sense to send this, but on the other hand,
maybe they're raising the water level to get up to the top of those cliffs. So
that's
attack.
That's it.
That would be insane. All of a sudden, the shit like, oh, well, there wasn't an ocean here like last week.
Yeah.
I mean,
This
very
is just how
disappointing. 6 seconds later when it washes right back out, but that's okay.
No, it's fine. They'll hold it. They'll hold it.
Make a dramatic entrance so that everyone knows they're coming and they, are
And they're
gonna touch
dangerous,
it up.
yeah.
So
Jason makes a good point too. Like that would be incredibly difficult to like.
yeah.
Oh,
like,
absolutely. I agree.
like,
I'm just I'm wondering how you feel about it. I don't disagree with the change.
We know it wasn't actually needed in the books, so it makes sense to me.
They can accomplish a similar task with saying like.
Do you think the collars are those large things they have?
Yeah, I do.
Separate from the mouthpiece? Is the mouthpiece just like get your muzzle, you dog?
For funsies. I think that's just for funsies.
I think that's just for a visual. Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with it.
Yeah, that's just how you treat women in shops.
Your name's Pura, and that's all you can say. And when you can talk, I'll take this thing out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the leashes, like it's already the most disgusting civilization when you really put it in stark terms, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The leashes are like a visual representation of it.
Yeah.
And to a certain extent, is that a good or bad thing? I guess is a question. I guess it's going to depend on where they go really with Shanshan practices. Yeah. Presumably, it's going to be pretty fucking.
Yeah. So, I think I think they can accomplish the same thing that the leash does with just making it like, oh, the.
Yeah, let me grind this into you.
The necklace and the bracelet can't be moved too far apart, like whatever or something. But that brings up like what you were just saying though about how horrible they're going to be. During the Comic-Con thing that they did in New York. When the first one that when they showed the teaser stuff for season 2, every actor on stage and Rafe was like the basically alluding toward like all of the stuff that Egwene has to go through in this season. Wow, her name. All I could think of is Sophie Akonedo, but that's Madeline Madden. Wow. All I could think is Sophie Akonedo for some reason, but that's the one. All the stuff that all the acting that Madeline had to do was just absolutely insane. Like she blew everything out of the water, and it was like this season is going to be so tough for her. So I think that's telling us how horrible it's going to be for Egwene.
I like that.
That'll be interesting and amazing to see. Also horrifying character.
But it really
book 2 Egwene is some of my favorite stuff, honestly. Yeah. And then
it sets the tone for her character.
Yeah.
Until she gets in the hands of the wise ones, and the wise ones really help her heal
when she walks out into the street and the Neva's like, "Don't do that! Or what are you doing?" And she's like, "Yeah!" Like I was like, "Yes, yes, love
it.
Yes, embrace your anger.
Yes, you want this, don't you?"
Oh, so good. So we're going to hang out probably for like another, we'll call it like 10, 15 minutes. Make sure you get your questions in now. I've been saving all the questions as they come up through. I got 12 saved right now.
There's a couple that have come in on Twitter. And
we'll go to Twitter. If you've posted them on Twitter, use the hashtag ReWoTch. We'll go and what we do after the show is we all kind of hang out and I have a little spreadsheet on Google And
Oh, how wonderfully nerdy.
Yeah. And then we rewatched the episode again, right?
Yeah, we watched it all over again.
Yeah.
But we don't talk. We just actually watch
no one
it.
talks. No one talks.
I can't kick people in.
Right. This time we just shut up.
Quiet. It's just 5 of us going.
We got a spam bot.
Did
Oh, yay.
So make
Did
sure,
we say
so make
fuck
sure
enough
you press
times to get some sex in here?
No, it's like something about, I don't know, some nonsense.
So what were your overall takes from this episode? 1, 2, 3. Go. Rebecca, go.
Oh, me. Yeah, so I think like some aspects of it, and this was true for me on the first time I saw it, and it continues to be true. Like some aspects of it work really well. Like I said, the parts in particular with Rand and the Dark One and Moraine, all work for me. I like the choices made in those parts. So I'm like, that was a strong part of the episode. And the rest, none of the rest of it is like as good as that. Like all the rest of it is, either fine or like there were some things that I had some issues with, but a lot of the things, I mean, like the one thing that I mainly had an issue with was like the way Nynaeve looked like she was dead. And they have said like, yeah, that was not what we intended. And that they had talked about how
those special effects guys just went way too far.
Yeah. And there's supposed to be a scale, from like all the way burned out to not burned out. And Nynaeve was supposed to be somewhere in the middle, but she looked fairly crispy.
Pretty dead.
So they went a little too far with the crispiness. And originally Egwene was supposed to do.
You wanted original recipe.
Yes. Originally Egwene was supposed to do like wisdom healing, rather than use the one power, and they changed that because of COVID. Like I'm guessing that part of what she was going to do was like CPR essentially.
Just grind up some. She would just get a mortar and pestle and like grind up some herbs.
Maybe there would have been some herbs involved, but I think it was more like there was a scene in episode 1 that was cut where like Nynaeve is teaching her some stuff, or I think maybe it would have been like Nynaeve did it on someone who was dying in the Two Rivers in episode 1, and then Egwene redid it, and so Egwene saw that, and they cut that because she couldn't end up doing it in episode 8. So that would have also made it clearer. I mean, my thing with that is like, I wish they had just like, even if they hadn't toned down the makeup, like just have Nynaeve moan or cough or something.
Yes,
so that we know.
It takes one iota of effort to not fuck it up.
Yeah, just a little. So, but they acknowledge that didn't come out right. So that part they'll say, yeah, it wasn't right.
Also, I wish he had been like. I wish he had been there when, like, Nynaeve healed Lan and everybody else that got, like, shredded by shards by...
Joe, it's her turn.
Like, that kind of thing. Like, if she had witnessed some sort of, like, miracle healing by Nynaeve, I would have been like, oh, okay. Well, she saw it, so then she can do it, even though she doesn't really know what she's doing. That would even...
Well, I will say, we didn't get to see it, but I will say she was definitely in the yellow Aja healing house when Perrin was being healed. So she probably saw some healing.
True. That's true. So she did see. So maybe she did. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the YHH.
What's that?
The yellow healing house.
Don't listen. And never listen to Jono. Never listen to Jono.
Yeah.
Okay. My mistake. Yeah. So that was the one part that I didn't like. Oh, and I really, really, really wanted Nynaeve to just punch Amelisa when she wouldn't let go of the power. Like, could she just have like hauled out?
That would have been great.
I wanted that. And
you're killing us.
Just let go of the power. Anyway, so I was disappointed in that.
Okay.
But
so you wanted more physical violence, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and that's fair. At today's day and age, really demands more physical violence, especially with women.
I just feel like Nynaeve could throw a punch. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. So it's what I would have wanted to do. Yeah, Tom, what do you think?
For what? My overall for the whole season?
For episode 8, really.
Episode 8?
At a time. Ebony? No, I'm kidding.
I liked it.
Jono, we're saving the best for last.
It's true. The Empress made
She's the Empress, Jono.
I love that we are. Like, it's not our show, dumbass. Yeah.
I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing.
He did take over there. I liked it. The problems that I have with it are just like I think Jason said in chat, are mostly budget related. You know, like I would have liked to see, you know, X better, but all of that has to do with budget, and that's nothing that the showrunners and stuff can do. I think it set a lot of good story paths for season 2, and if it's used correctly, they could pull a lot of stuff that they did in this episode to have a lot of impact in season 2.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's up to the writers, and they're pretty good.
Toast
so.
answer, but all right.
Well, I mean, like overall, I liked it. Like there's plenty in like this episode has the things I like the least in it, but they're all budget related. Like I wish the Blight was better, but like this is what they could manage. I wish.
Okay.
That's pretty much that's.
What do you got?
I really loved the whole thing.
So I will say the first time I saw it, I was like, at the end, I was like, what just happened? Like, I don't know how it's going to connect. So I spent a few days going, I don't understand. And then I just accepted that. But like, I
accept that I don't understand.
Right. It's like, that's fine. I don't understand what's happening.
Feels like a Dresden Files reference right there.
Nynaeve would totally do that. I'm just saying.
That's great Dresden Files joke, by the way. Not enough of those.
Abraca face punch.
Yeah.
Dresden Files is just a rip off of Harry Potter, and so is Real Time. We all know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We all know that.
But I think in the end, I am content with what was done and the fact that we're going to get there a different way, right? Like I'm very interested now to see how we're going to get to where I know we need to get to. Like I said, I'm still like I don't know. I thought about it for a lot of days. I'm like, well, they. It's
interesting where Rand's going. Like, where is Rand going?
Right. Well, I don't.
Because it's not to study the sword with Lan on top of Faldara. You know what I mean? Like, where is it going?
So does this mean like we're not going to get our Suan, like the dragon meets the Amerlin seat? Like
I fucking hope not.
I think we might get it.
Yeah.
I liked how they.
I think it's one of the coolest thing to do as background, but I hated this weird power that she has of this talent of being able to see one glowing man every 1,000 years. That to me is like always most bothersome talent.
Well, so
I have to do that part. They could skip that.
No, but here's the thing: for her to know that she could see Ta'Veren, she must have been able to see. She saw one before Rand, right? If she knew that was one of her talents.
Holly said one in a generation is what you might see. So yeah, she could have seen.
Right.
I guess technically she's lived for still one generation. She's not very old.
Not very.
No, she's not.
Not even.
No. I would say that they're probably closer to my age than anything. They've been searching for 20 years.
So you're 22.
Yeah.
So, but no, I always assume like when, for the most part, early 20s is when you graduate from the tower if you have any talent, right?
We don't know how long they spent.
Years.
Actually,
we also don't know. I mean, we don't know when she left her fishing village. For the show. I mean, for the show.
They're actually
right. But no, you know what? I do think I think they're mid 40s. I think
Jono's actually making sense if you're all still ignoring him, but
I'm listening.
Look it up, Jono. I'm waiting for Jono to look it up. Tell us
how old they are. No, late 40s is about right.
Yeah,
because they graduated early from using your lexicon. About 4 and 4 for their novice and accepted times, both Swan and Nynaeve, which are some of the fastest
in the books.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. My bad. I used the source. That's my fault.
Well, how weird. How bizarre.
Yeah.
I want to. What do you guys think about? So to get to this questions from theories and superstitions, I kind of hope they play with Rand thinks he killed the Dark One, Like I won. I'm done. Like we did it.
I always loved that. Dumb,
I assume that's what he's doing.
Yeah, and so he fucks off. He fucks off to go and be like, all right. I'm gonna
Where
go
else to
away.
be? Where else to be by yourself and not worry about murdering 1,000 people when you go crazy?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
Right.
he's gonna go to the waste, but I think
No,
he's gonna
not
just. I think he's gonna go away to be like, I can't be near my friends because I might kill them when I go crazy. So
Yeah.
let me go away. He's definitely going to be on his own until he realizes that the Dark One's not dead. That's what I think, at least.
It's always been interesting, kind of like what Rand does afterwards. Like after, he sticks around as Joe mentioned, learning the sword with Lan, and it's kind of he's stuck here too long, right? Is that a Teviran thing or not? Doesn't matter. It's not relevant to this story.
But he doesn't need to do that because in the show we've seen that he's so
He's
good
already
with the
got
sword. Like
himself-
when he takes the sword out, Lan just smacks it out of his hand when Matt's sick.
Yeah.
That was
He
hilarious.
takes the sword out again. He points it at like the Dark One's throat, and he's like, "Get that out of here." Like he's pretty good. I'm just saying, he's pretty good already. Like you don't need to learn. Right?
In this case, where is he going to go? Like, I've seen, and maybe it's just because I stick with Joe and Tom too much. A lot of theories is just kind of straight to the ideal ways to learn, whatever the fuck, right?
But
'Cause that's
I think that he's gonna end up wherever he's intending to go.
he's
Like
got to end
the
up with
pre- the
Shantae
pre-
somehow.
No, he's gonna end up in yes, but he's gonna end up in Kyrian first. Like I think they've revealed that at this point. That he'll
have
be
they?
in Kyrian in season 2. So I don't know. It's hard for me to believe that they would do like a detour to the waste and then end up
I don't
in
think you're going
Kyrian.
to the
And
waste yet.
I don't. Yeah,
He's
I don't
pretty
think
close.
What about the
Right?
chain to the
One
wheel
not
thing with
many
all the
away.
sand around him?
That's
That
a
could
dream.
be.
Dream-
I was going to say that could be in many a woman's
Dream world dreams don't exist in this.
Many dreams.
You
that
guys
scene
talked
came
about.
from.
Euphemism about all the lack of sex he's having. It's a very dry time for him.
Mm.
You're not wrong.
I
Or
don't
alcohol.
know. I think he
So
might
you're,
hook up
you're,
with men.
so
but
Jana,
we'll
you're
see.
making an assumption. I was
Yeah.
going to say you're making an assumption. If he
Yes.
is out and just roaming around, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like he's going to have trouble getting some.
I mean, we don't know, right? I mean, he could be like a serious self-doubt, though, right?
Well, I mean, emo.
I mean,
He's
it
not
worked
going to have
for
any issues.
He's gonna start.
It's possible it doesn't work for him, though. Like he's.
I
all
mean,
of
he
a
just
sudden
can't seal the
mixed
deal, Jono. I think is what you're
Yeah.
saying. He's got whiskey.
He's got no game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
It
Let's
doesn't.
ask
So
the
I'm,
Look out for.
I'm going to let in on a secret. Your level of game has nothing to do with our decision to sleep with you. That's something
Yeah, I
that's
get that.
decided before you. Yeah.
At
We
the
just-
end of the night,
it doesn't have
though.
anything to do with you.
Well,
May have to roll over.
but I will say, being very bad at it may make you unmake that decision.
Oh, sure.
Right. It won't happen again. I just want you
That's
to
actually
know.
my
It's
autobiography.
one and done in that case. Yeah.
These are all very interesting ideas.
I want you to know. I said get some, and my husband came running from the other room. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. He's like, "What are you on the internet?
Taking his shirt off in the middle of it.
Oh, we're doing OnlyFans now."
It's
That's
mostly
the other
banned.
podcast show we have.
All right.
Um,
This has now become Dragon Mount After Dark. So just.
I mean, you had Twatcast
Fair
on,
warning.
Rebecca.
Yeah.
Like, what were you
I
expecting?
know. I'm just saying, but now is the After Dark portion
I mean,
of the program. We're entering it.
really, we should have started the show an hour later, knowing Twatcast was going to be on. Like, we should have.
I don't know. It makes me excited.
I can smell it.
The more you know.
I love
That was in
that.
response to that.
Can you
I
have her do
smell it.
an old knowing is half the battle for me
Yeah.
at some point?
She's there just on demand in like a back room, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I keep her in my closet.
Yeah.
I would assume.
Yeah.
That's Kitty Rollo for people that don't know.
In Tom's
Doesn't know
closet.
Kitty. That's. I mean,
It's not possible. If
Tom
you're like
should be
in the
so
Wheel of
lucky.
Time community, even adjacently, I feel like it's been hard not to have seen her at some point.
I know.
Jono, how did you feel better or worse about episode 8 after you were having rewatched
Okay.
it?
So a legitimate question, I guess. It's kind of weird for you. About the same, really.
I'm genuinely curious.
No, I appreciate it. So again, like my thought is this, and those who have watched this, first off, my apologies. Like I'm fucking excited if there's anything Wheel of Time related on TV. I really am. Like that's the hard stop, right? Is the fact that this is even on TV is fun for me. The fact that the series was ever finished, fun for me. I started reading in the mid-90s, so much like many things in my life, delayed excitement. Finally got there. And I'm very happy to have finally attained that.
Good work.
That's where my bar is. But that being said, afterwards, now that I've gotten some, I can quibble, right? I'm not real happy with a few things. And the thing that's very interesting is like, if there's ever like a reader tells all or a writer tells all that tells us how many of these things changed because of the shit that happened with Matt, how many things happened with COVID, like what budget fuck alls came in, it'd be fascinating to know, because I think there were some kind of lazy decisions that happened. I think there were some bad decisions, but I think there were some cool things that happened too. I think that there's, I don't know. I mean, like how much can you cherry pick? Like, obviously, it's not going to be the same book in your head. So get that the fuck out of your head when you're watching a TV show. So, again, I don't fucking know. I'm just glad it's there. It's not my favorite thing I've ever seen, but it's not. There are certain, especially this episode. I enjoyed this episode more than I think was it 5 or 6. I may have lost my shit about. There were one or two where I was real unhappy. But
it was the whole Stepan Aes Sedai dying story.
I lost it.
There was a lot of time. There was a lot of time spent on that.
Yeah, that is way too long.
Way too much time spent on that.
Yeah, from a character from New Spring. But that being said, I still, I can't wait to watch season 2. Even if it's, like, I hope it's not, and I'm sure it won't be. Even if it's bad, I'm still going to watch the shit out of it. Because...
Oh, yeah.
So
I mean, from what Rafe has said, like season 2 and 3 are getting closer. I feel like season 1 was like weighed down with let's introduce this series to a new audience and like we have to hide who the dragon is and like
any show is almost always inferior.
So like having to like First of all, I love the addition of Nynaeve and Egwene as like possible Dragon Reborns. But the mystery of who the Dragon Reborn is being a mystery the whole season, whereas everyone that's read the books is like, oh, come on. Kind of thing. Like, that makes it, like, season 2, now that mystery's out of the way, I'm high hopes. Season 3 even better. Yeah. Like,
I agree with you.
Now that the mystery is gone, like, I think it's got a better shot of...
They can get on with business.
Coinciding with the book readers' mentality.
Yeah, and also you can't forget that there's also the whole business side of this. So I'm sure.
Yes.
Like they have like the.
Hence the reveal. Hence the mystery.
Yeah. Well, they have the the studio sitting on them being like you can't get too crunchy for these like it's got to appeal to a wide audience
Yeah.
So, but now that they've done that, like you said, hopefully they can open up the scope for season 2.
I was going to say, agreeing with Joe, like I think book 1 is one of the hardest to adapt because it's pretty different from the series as a whole, and they don't want it to feel different, right? I mean, you cannot have season 1 be about Rand. You just can't do that show. You need to change it so that it's not just about Rand. This the book 1 basically is. Yeah. So
I just like what Rapunzel said there.
Yeah, that's a great thought. That's a great point. And I mean, it introduced a lot of people to the series, so that's really
and I think that's the
book sales shot up when they announced it. So
that's the best thing. It's like if people read this book and read the series.
And you know what note we'll end on. Actually, no. You know what? Before we do that, you guys want to? We need some shameless plugs from Twatcasts to remind everybody.
We use some pretty shameful plugs, actually. Like Joe uses this last one that we put. It's got a picture of him.
Ooh,
what type of plug were you discussing?
Does it have the tail hanging off?
Oh yeah, of course.
I mean, there's multiple beads.
All right, just show me the pictures later.
But, we are Twatcast. We're the oldest podcast out there these days.
Yeah, I remember having to pull your damn posters off the elevators in Jordan Con too.
Yeah.
Because
and we keep doing it. We keep doing it.
The hotel kept yelling at us. That was how I got introduced to you guys, by the way. I was like, who the fuck is Twatcast? The hotel keeps yelling at me.
Some dickheads. Yeah, we've been doing this for way too long.
Now we put them in classy like things, like plastic holders, and then we just set them on tables, and people go like, "Huh, that looks like it's supposed to be here."
No, they don't. Yes, that's it. Rich Podcast, Wheel of Time Reread Podcast. We've been doing this for literally 300 something episodes, decade. There's a third member of ours. That'd be Joe's brother Tom.
Shh, don't talk about him.
Tom died of
We don't talk about Tom.
He doesn't actually exist.
Yeah.
Currently, we're reading the Wheel of Time.
Or
Companion.
reading it for the first time, yeah.
I mean, I'm barely reading it. Jono's reading it. Tom's sort of reading it, and I am barely reading it. But I've got a lot of other things to do.
The Wheel of Time Companion, written by
Important guy.
Yeah. Honestly,
but we're doing the Wheel of Time Companion. We actually have had a lot of fun. So we're doing it a letter at a time.
Yeah.
Who was on your episodes recently? You had some fun people on it for what it was. She was on
for
M,
what
right?
letter? Tom,
Maria?
are you talking about?
No, I was talking about Maria. Who cares about me?
Yeah. So we've had
Maria and Alan on for both of their first and last names, and then Harriet came on for H. That was fun. Oh, Matt Hatch was on that same episode, so that was fun.
Yeah.
We've had some really awesome guests on for random letters in their names when it makes sense.
There's an O in your name.
Yeah. So obvious, again, legitimate plug for this thing. Not many people realize what weird treasures are in this fucking book.
Oh yeah, it is actually really fun to deep dive.
I read it like a book when I got it.
The companion has some things you've never that aren't in the series proper. It's amazing.
Yeah, the amount of things. I mean, so
read it like a book. I'm like, what is wrong with me?
I think I've got mine.
I really like. I one of the things that I liked from it specifically was the power, the
Level.
ranking of the one power that they did in it. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Which is something from Robert Jordan's notes, how he used to rank them. So that's,
yes.
That's pretty cool.
It's also extremely complicated and doesn't always make sense.
I have to. Every single time I do it because I have dyscalculia, so like every time I have to go and reread how he did it.
Yeah.
And then like it takes me a couple of times to like remember how it works, and then I get it. And
you add 12, and then there's a plus category.
I'm fucking all over the damn place with that shit.
Yeah, it's nuts. But anyway, so that's us. We're some dumb drunks.
What letter are you on net? What's the next letter you guys are doing?
The next letter is the letter U.
U.
How many entries are there for that? It's got to be like 2 pages.
I think it's 2 pages. I think it's 2 pages. So here's the thing, like when we do, so we've had a lot of categories where the letters are like, oh, there's 1,000 times more things than we can ever cover in an episode. Yeah. But we don't care. We just do it in one episode. So we miss like so much stuff. Like we don't talk about everything. But so when we get to like Q, for instance, we had Queers of Time on for the great podcast for you guys that haven't listened to that. But for Q, and there was only 2 pages, and we just like started chatting with them about the show. Like we'll just we just talk to our guests for the short chapters. But mostly it's larger entries, and we're just like, we can't even scratch the surface of this. But
100 entries.
Yeah.
Just look at A and R and N.
I mean, A was ridiculous. Like everyone, the second we started this was with A, and they were like, can we have another A episode? And we're like, nope. moving on.
Nope. We're
moving on.
Relevance. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's us.
Well, that's what we're currently doing. Sure. Yeah. There's plans. We have things. We always have things.
Always have things. 3 things, in fact.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Twatcast, Jono. Tom is here in our.
Don't thank Tom.
Tom's a piece of shit.
But the Tom from your show we were talking about, not me.
Oh, that one. Oh yeah, we love Tom. Yeah. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming on this ride with us. This is a ton of fun.
Yes. Thank you so much to everybody who's been watching and asking questions. Oh,
we lost
Ebony's gone.
Ebony left.
Oh, no.
Okay, well.
She was like, I'm done with Jono. I gotta get out of here.
Just can't take one more second.
Can't take one more Jono quote.
But we appreciate everyone who's been watching and asking questions and all that. So it's been fun.
There she is.
Thank you, everyone that's been watching.
All right, Ebony gets the last.
Thanks for having us on.
Since she
We love you.
Made a reappearance.
Hi guys. I don't know what just happened. It's the one power's running wild over here, so
Someone picked apart the weave.
It was a bubble of evil. Don't worry.
yeah.
All right. Good night, folks. And
Good night, Kevin.
I'll see you guys later in September. For the Instagram live that I do for Dragon Mount. We might have a very special guest.
Tom, you said September.
Yeah, Ebony's correct. You said September.
Wow. December.
December.
It says September on this screen on my computer, and I read it as I was saying.
Sure.
No, I'm terrible.
There's always a reason.
It's because I'm bad. But yeah, I might have a special guest for my December live, which watch Dragon Mount social medias for that.
And
Tom, tell us who it is.
I can't, because if they don't come, then I'll look stupid.
Tom,
I say that at night.
Who might it be?
Abraham
Robert
Lincoln.
Jordan.
Oh, Abraham.
The Vampire Hunter?
Yeah,
he's dead.
Yeah.
That's an amazing pull.
Big old axe. Yeah. All right.
I know a guy. I know a guy.
All right.
Good night.
Good night, Kevin.